Yeah. Okay. So we can continue. Again, it's kind of make sure you're at ease. Take your time. Maybe you've been walking, standing, stretching, so come back to your seat. And again, don't force yourself to anything during the reflection. Be gentle with yourself. Make a commitment to yourself not to push, not to force yourself to do anything you don't want to do. We can't force ourselves. There's no point. So important. But also to have like the intention not to run away too quickly, Being gentle doesn't mean that you just, whenever it gets difficult or tough, you kind of shy away. Being gentle also involves being curious. And especially at the beginning of this, also know you are not your emotions. They're just, certain kinds of energies that are needed. Sometimes they're very helpful, like fear. We all want to be free from fear, but fear can be very helpful when it prevents us from doing something that we would hurt or harm ourselves or others. So in this case, fear is very good. Then also sometimes, when they talk while anger is negative and all this, sometimes we do need the first burst of anger for us to get moving and to do something. But then before we react, it would be good to let it calm down, to be aware that, there's anger, maybe not so skillful at the moment, when we know what anger does to our mind state. That it distorts, it exaggerates, it forgets about the happiness of the other person. But still, don't think that you become totally emotionless when you are a Buddhist. That's not the case. Also, as we said, attachment has also its positive sides, makes us interested. We become alive. We're more focused when we're attached to something. So all this is good if we let this other thing aside, which attachment says, I can only be happy if I have the person, the object, or the situation. Which is not true. When we kind of take away that misconception that the happiness will come from the person, the situation, or the object, looks like that. The only really loser emotions is jealousy. This not helpful for just about anything. Unless, even there we can say, okay, then I have to be as good as that other one, and it gives us energy. So even that one, you see, but it definitely doesn't take away from anything from the other person. Okay. So being gentle means we want to be happy. We want to be able to live that happiness, that well-being, and we want to learn methods that lead to happiness and prevent future suffering. So then at the beginning of this reflection, we can think, to heal these painful emotions is to touch with love that which was previously touched with fear. So again, maybe you can experiment a bit when you hear these two words, touch with love. So sometimes for me, it's good to have an image, I see somebody who's suffering, I reach out. That kind of attitude. with fear. Somebody is suffering. I hear it, I see it, I close up and go, oh, I don't know what to do. That's so different. So just settle and breathe. Be aware of the breath, how it comes in, goes out. And to start with, we have to see if these two components that we need for this meditation are there. And these two components are clear seeing. For that, it's good when the mind is calm and clear, and the willingness. So you can ask yourself, am I seeing clearly? And just asking yourself that question makes the mind a bit clearer. Because we're in the awareness, because we need to watch, we need to look. The second one is, am I willing to be present? So again, if you say no, then you can end the meditation. Or if you say no, you can generate that willingness by just encouraging yourself and saying, okay, let's see what happens. Give yourself the permission to stop the reflection at any moment. So that's the first step. So here again, we have steps, like the Buddhists with all their lists. So then the second step, don't get lost in the story of why things shouldn't be as they are. Instead, allow yourself to feel whatever is there. And to feel, we have to watch, to go into the body, because it's the body that feels, not the brain or the mind. So in case something is tight or a bit strange, then ask yourself, where does it hurt? And touch whatever is there with this awareness, be it anger, fear, pain, despair, tiredness, boredom, nervousness, restlessness, whatever. But see it clearly, name it. So whatever is there, no matter how strong it is, do not judge it. Just mentally whisper. And this also is almost magic. Just say to yourself, this belongs. So we're not pushing it away. It's such a powerful 2 words. This belongs. So the problem with these painful emotions is that when we're not mindful, they hijack us and we lose contact with the cortex, with our reasoning and being able to put things into perspective. And especially, we lose contact with our natural spaciousness, love, and compassion. So whatever is there, just give it space. Because at the moment, this belongs. Just let your intention be to allow a willingness to be with whatever is there. That the wisdom in you just says, let it be. That belongs. It has the right to be here. It's a natural part, like the wave and the ocean. And again, it might help if you put your hand gently on the spot where you can feel the pain. So if you have enough courage to just stay with it and feel it, quite naturally there will be a compassionate response to it. Because if we can feel it, we can heal it. Just hold it with tender mindfulness. And if there's fear, try to see the intelligence of it and not panic. So I hope, and most probably none of you is panicking, but still it's good to know. So then the next step would be, when panic takes over, when it becomes too strong, connect to the body, be present, be with the breath. Breathe naturally, count to 5 on in-breath, count to 5 on out-breath. If you can do that for 5 or 10 minutes, you totally shift your nervous system around. So it's good to remember that. Whenever you panic, focus on your breath, count to 5, start again. That helps your nervous system to calm down. Or you can just ground yourself. Feel how you belong to the earth who is supporting you. Touch something. Feel form. Feel contact. Or name an object that you see, hear, smell, or so. Bring yourself into the here and now with your senses. And sense that your awake heart can offer what is needed in a very direct and intimate and immediate way. It is washing through and bathing that vulnerable place with the quality of tender presence, with love and compassion. So that's the nurturing part. Where does it hurt? And in a realistic way, what do I need right now? If it is easier to think that love and compassion comes from another source, from a loved one, from somebody that you trust, that is wise and you know cares about you, or from a spiritual figure, or from a formless loving presence, just imagine and feel and sense that love pouring in whatever form appears to your mind. Don't manipulate anything. Don't fake anything. Just use the right thoughts. Things will happen by themselves. Let your deepest intention be to let that vulnerable place feel loved and bathed. Imagine light, warmth, a wash of tenderness. Become aware of the quality of presence that is here. Let yourself relax, rest, and be in that presence. Open, spacious, tender presence. So the third step is don't take it personally by becoming over-identified with your role in the situation. You didn't give birth to these energies, they are universal. They belong to this realm. When it's not taken personally, we realize we can practice with anything we come into contact with. Stress, frustration, pain. Nothing is outside of our care anymore. When something painful or difficult arises, allow yourself to feel that compassionate response. And see that pain is not the only thing that is there. Check what else is there. Look for it very carefully. And that also, name it, feel it, experience it. Allow yourself to experience yourself fully. Then you can hold yourself as you would anyone you care for. And then the fifth and the last step, so that we not get lost in self-pity, Open up to not only your own pain, but to the pain of shared humanity. Not lost in the story of why me, but opening to all the beings that know this particular pain. Only when we understand that can the most caring part of ourselves become known. With the courage of the undefended heart, it can transform into something beautiful. So now we can use the breath, and as you breathe in, imagine that you're breathing in that loving, protecting energy that we have just created by doing this practice together. Or again, you can just invoke like an external energy or a being that you trust, like the Buddha, Jesus, God. Do you think that you're breathing that in the form of light? We can think of our gurus, our masters, His Holiness the Dalai Lama. We can clearly understand they only want our best. Let that energy totally fill you. And as you breathe out, you think that you're breathing out this loving, peaceful energy to share it with all other beings that you know and that you don't know. See how it brings them what it brought to you: support, relief, spaciousness, resources to deal with difficult situations, peace, trust, and happiness. Okay, so that's the preparation for the forgiving meditation, because now we have to touch these painful feelings of either having hurt somebody or us having been hurt. But if you need a little stretch before we start with that one, please do so. Try to maintain that energy, that light, the tenderness, the lightness, as you do some stretching or adjusting of your body. Okay, so now if there is something that needs to be touched, felt, and healed, I mean, this is the occasion, and we especially use our wisdom. And again, don't push though, just look. And again, give yourself the permission at any point to stop the meditation if it gets too difficult. So now imagine somebody that you have harmed and now ignores or shuns you, meaning doesn't want to have contact with you anymore. And let the feelings arise. I know it hurts. It's painful. But stay with it, with this loving, open tenderness. And you will understand a lot of things in this sensation or in this feeling. Don't go so much into thoughts yet. Just experience. How does it feel when I've hurt somebody and that somebody doesn't want to have contact with me anymore, or at least, the intimacy is gone, the flowing is gone, the warmth is gone. There is contact, but not much alive. How do you feel? So try to find this deep wish to be forgiven. Like there's probably a wish, oh, I shouldn't have done that, I shouldn't have said that. Take that wish into the future, not into the past. And go, oof, I will never do that again. I shouldn't have done that doesn't help. We get stuck in the past. But I'll be careful not to do that again. That will be helpful for the future. But try to see that wish. I wish it wouldn't have happened. The wish that everything goes back to as it was before, with a very good communication, lots of warmth, laughter, harmonious. And we can also see how we think about the whole thing. For us, what I've done, well, it's not so bad. This other person should be able to forgive me. Shouldn't be so difficult. Why don't they just let it be and let it go? I didn't mean it. And we can't understand why this other person cannot forgive us. Why can't they just be normal? So how do we behave with this other person? Do we signal our pain to the one who has been hurt, that by saying, hey, look, I know what I did is not right. I also feel bad about this. Are we open? Or how ready are we to ask for forgiveness? Because then we have to admit that we've done something wrong. We put ourselves into the hand and under the power of that person. Because the victim, usually they want power over us. Does that seem easy to go and say, oh yeah, I know I hurt you. Or I know I did something wrong. Is that an easy step? Just recognize it. Feel it. And when we look at the person we have hurt or harmed, what's in our heart? Fear? Shame? Guilt? Maybe even anger, because we kind of go, this person gives me that unpleasant feeling now, as if it's their fault. Again, be very honest. And that's where you need the courage. And just watch it. Don't manipulate anything. Just watch it. Just be aware of it. If it's too strong, then do what we did before. Ground yourself or count your breathing. Name an object. Touch your body. Go back to the feeling. How do I look at this person now? They make me uneasy, don't they? Okay, now we turn the whole thing around. You think about somebody that has harmed you. So we go through the same steps. Can you feel how we think that we have some power over that person? That they owe us something? We now being the victim? Maybe the person feels bad. Can we feel that pain of that other person that they made a mistake? What will we do if the person now comes and says, wow, I made a mistake, I hurt you? Will we forgive just like this? We expect that from others, isn't it? When we kind of lower our pride and we admit that we made a mistake. So then at least, they should forgive us. But how ready are we to forgive? We come up with all these stories. Yeah, they say they feel sorry, but they don't. They're not, they're not, how to say, they're not honest. Change these stories. They're no good. Just try to understand the same way as I feel pain when I hurt somebody else. That person now also feels unhappy. Can you do that? Can you admit that? Can we accept that? Will it help you? Or what's the story going on now? What is preventing us to forgive? To say, yeah, no, we both make mistakes. I also hurt others. Maybe I have harmed you, But I'll take it as a lesson. Or are we waiting for the other kind of to come and ask for forgiveness with already all the accusations that we want to make? How would we welcome that person? And if we forgive, then of course, there's this condition that this person will never do that to me again. It's so unrealistic. We have such high expectations. Now, it's okay to have these expectations, but then we have to look at ourselves again. Are we willing to fulfill these expectations that others have on us as well? As we said, we are all the same. So check again, what prevents me to forgive? The fear of forgetting? So what, It's good to remember so that we don't do it again, but sometimes also good to just forget. The fear of condoning, that we go like, oh, but it wasn't so bad. Or the fear to be seen as weak, and in Israel as the friar who cannot fight back, who is not angry. Maybe the fear to be harmed again, or losing the perverse power over this other person, or losing the permission to be the victim. And as the victim, I give myself the permission that I can do what I want. So sometimes by reflecting like this and exchanging these roles from aggressor to victim, from victim to aggressor, can we stop to play these unhelpful games and roles? So then, you think about all your mistakes that you have made. And in a very simple and direct way, you just go, I forgive myself for whatever I have done to myself and to others, knowingly and unknowingly. And I will start again. I let go, I let it be. You can repeat that until something maybe opens in your heart. I forgive myself for whatever I have done, knowingly and unknowingly. I forgive myself. If there is resistance, don't fight the resistance. Something happens, something happens. If nothing happens, nothing happens. Even you think nothing happens, something will happen. I forgive myself for having harmed others and myself, knowingly and unknowingly. I forgive myself. I am a good person. And I want to live that goodness. And I want to share that goodness with others. So now we think about the person that has harmed you. If you're ready, again, don't force yourself, but just if you're ready, then you think, you too, I know you suffer. You will be the victim in the future. And harming others is not creating any happiness, maybe some perverse happiness, but who wants that? So whatever you have done to me, I forgive you. Whatever you have done to me knowingly or unknowingly, I forgive you. May you be happy, may you be well. And may we be able to continue our relationship in a harmonious way. Me not wanting power over you because I'm the victim. You not getting angry at me because I provoked that unpleasant feeling in you because you're the aggressor. I forgive you for whatever you have done to me and to others, knowingly and unknowingly. May you be able to stop harming others. I understand that you're unhappy. This takes time, so go slow, gentle, with this open tenderness. Just try it out as if you're playing a game. How would that feel to be able to say this? It's not the words that you're saying to this other person. It's these words that you're saying to yourself. And now the last one, you open up your heart to the ones that you have harmed. You can ask for forgiveness, but don't expect anything, but at least admit that you have harmed them. And we can just say, look, I'm so sorry. I also hurt because I harmed or hurt you. I made a mistake. I promise I will learn from it, but I cannot promise that I will not harm you again. Because same as anybody else, I have tendencies, habits. I am under the control of these unhelpful emotions, like wrong views, attachment, anger, jealousy, pride. I'm also afraid of not being loved, not being accepted. So please forgive me. I'm asking for your forgiveness so that you can be happy again, so that you can let go of your pain. Please forgive me. And then we just end the meditation with this very sincere wish. All beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be separated from the happiness that knows no suffering. And may we all live in equanimity, free from attachment and anger that holds some too close and some others too distant. And 3 verses from Nagarjuna's dedication at the end of his Ratnavali. May I always dissuade all at once all those beings of any world who intend to engage in negativity without doing them any harm. This is so powerful. May I be able to stop beings that want to harm others, but without harming them. When we act with this intention, this is so powerful. And then what we want to become, like the earth, water, wind, and fire, medicinal herbs and the trees in the wilderness, may I always freely be an object of enjoyment by all beings as they wish. May I be beloved of beings, and may they be more beloved to me than myself. May I bear the results of their negativity, and may they have the results of all my virtues. May whoever sees, hears, touches, talks, or thinks about me, may it only be of benefit to them. Okay. How do you feel? Not easy, isn't it? So this is why what we did as a preparation, being able to stay with the painful feelings is so important. So now you know the technique, so then now you have all the tools to train. And, it's unfortunate, but this is the way it is. We have to train, repeat until it works. Unfortunately, there's not many shortcuts here. Does anybody have a question? What I just want to say again, when we talk about forgiving, it doesn't mean you let other people do what they want to do. Just remember that verse from Nagarjuna when he says, may I always dissuade at all at once all those beings of any world who intend to engage in negativity without doing them any harm. But when we go there with aggression and anger and, wanting to change them and all this, it's not going to work. I mean, it never worked. So why do we still kind of try in the same way? So just generating that wish in our heart makes us change our behavior. And then maybe people let us stop them when they want to engage in stupid things by just thinking, may I be able to stop beings from harming others without harming them. Such a beautiful thought. It's so powerful. And you have this very, very, you have this very naturally when you are parents. You stop your children from doing harm to themselves or to others without wanting to do harm to your children. So this is so powerful. Then we think, okay, with the children, I can do this. So I can train to do it with other beings. Okay? Oh, are you all speechless? Don't forget, you also need humor when we face our negative or painful emotions. You do need to be, don't get too heavy about this whole thing. You're not bad people. Do you believe me when I say that? Oh, not many know. Thank you. Yeah, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. It's always good for me also to do that. So, and I always think, on this day of Yom Kippur, it's such a powerful day that when so many beings really think of reinventing themselves, making amendments, or at least, have like intentions to not harm others. It's with the intention that all starts. Then for some people it takes a long time. For some people it takes less time. So there is a break now until, from my side is 2:30. Your side is 3:30, I think, yeah. And then I'm not sure if it's going to last the whole hour. Probably not, maybe just half an hour. We do Chenrezig meditation. Chenrezig is the Buddha of compassion. What is the name of the last phrase given? You mean the text by Nagarjuna, maybe? Yeah. So it's a text which has 400 and something 90 verses, which is called Ratnavali. What is it called in English? The Jewel Garland, I think. It's a text mostly also on emptiness, but how to, a text for a bodhisattva, somebody who wants to attain enlightenment. Varda, where are you? Maybe you can put the link to the text. Varda is great. She's so quick with these things. Are you still there? Maybe she's not there anymore.
I'm looking for the translation.
Okay.
There is a book, I think, that Eviatar Schulman translated the 400 verses of Nagarjuna into Hebrew. Right. So I was looking to see if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so if we want this at 400 and something verses, almost 490, you don't need to learn them by heart. It's the same as for Shantideva's Bodhicharyavatara. But if you have a verse that inspires you and you want to go in that direction, learn the verse by heart, and then also, think of Nagarjuna when you're in the danger of not acting in that way, and think, what is it that I want it to be? Hey, being a good person, what is an appropriate way to react? 99% of the time when I am in such a situation, I only remember afterwards. But 1%, sometimes I remember. Being a good person, what is the appropriate reaction here? And it's really helpful because boom, then I change. If you want to change, if you don't want to change, then of course, no question that you should not. You spend your time with these kind of things. All right. So the Chenrezig meditation, we will start with a prayer to Chenrezig, where we ask for assistance when there is difficult situations, and then we'll do the practice. Yes, Valda.
It's he translated the Mulya Madhyamika Karika, so it's.
Okay, that's also from Nagarjuna. The other one is called Ratnavali. I think it's called Jewel Garland, maybe. Jewel Garland, I think it's called in English. Anyway, it's okay. This is easy to remember. May I have the ability to stop somebody from harming others without harming them? It's so easy. We don't need like 400 verses to learn that verse. Yeah, because that's what we want, isn't it? We would like to be able to stop others from harming, but then, with anger and aggression, this is not working. But we should stop them. But look, not even the Dalai Lama can stop harming, can stop people who harm sometimes. We know how it is, with also as parents, your children. You explain to them what they will do, and that's not a good thing. You use all your wisdom, your compassion, then what? Nothing. They go ahead and do it. Have you made that experience as parents? Yeah. But the intention is important. That you want them to stop harming, but without harming them. Okay? And not even the Buddha can do it, but the intention is important, so that at least we try. Buddhas are also not omnipotent. Okay, so for those who are not coming for the next session because it's Buddhist, it's religious, I understand. And also you have, soon you will have to go to the synagogue. So when you go to the synagogue, then please, or when you come to Chenrezig meditation, just please do that with a very happy mind, knowing that you have put very powerful seeds on your consciousness, and that, with the content mind, this was a very good way to spend the day. From your side, not from my side or the Dharma friend side or whatever. Oh, it's so wonderful, they do this, blah, blah, blah. No, it's so wonderful that I did this. To have a really good feeling about yourself, because the better you feel about yourself, the more we can appreciate others' goodness and the other person's good sides and so on. Okay? Yeah? Okay, good. So I'll go into the break. I'm fasting. As I said, I'm not drinking and I'm not eating, but I had a cup of tea this morning. So if I would not have you, it would have been very difficult, So having you and being able to talk about these things and being distracted from what the body wants, this is very helpful. So thank you very much for participating, because you allowed me to very effortlessly actually keep the fast, which is not I didn't start last night. I only started this morning. So thank you very much. And it was great to see you all. I will not mention maybe name. Oh, David is here also. David is a regular Yom Kippur, what's it called? Yom Kippur guest. How are you, David? Yeah, you need to open your microphone. You need to open your microphone because otherwise I can't hear you. It's not working. You're very welcome. Anyway, it's good to see you. You look well. So I hope this is not just appearance and not true. I hope it's appearance and true appearance. Then, of course, Yael, Sigal, Luna. Wow, Luna, ich bin nicht mehr in der deutschen Schweiz. Ich bin jetzt in der französischen Schweiz. I'm not in the German-speaking part of Switzerland anymore. I'm the French-speaking part.
So email?
In Sierre, in Wallis.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm in the middle of vineyards.
Go to Saint-Jean-de-Gonville.
Where?
Saint-Jean-de-Gonville is the French part of Geneva. On the Jura Mountains. It's a beautiful village.
Okay. Well, there's lots of beautiful villages.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we have just chit chat. Okay. So if you want to leave, that's fine. And if you want to go into the break, but I'll see who else. Chaya is there. Then some, I don't know. I don't remember your names. Judy, Dani, Itzik is hiding behind Tara, but that's in a way it's okay. You know, everybody can see Tara. So Itzik, Tara there, Dalit is there. Hello. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can stop the recording, of course. Then